Alright guys, welcome back. Survival Living here. So, want to discuss a lot. First thing, we're going to do a tour of everything I've accomplished so far here in the house. But that's going to be further on in the video. You're going to have to hear me speak about some world topics and things like that. A little prepper wisdom on a few things. I've been prepping a long time. And then we'll get into the house build. First thing first, guys, I want to talk about this Jerome Powell phone call leak. Alright, there should be a video popped up there. I know real early I released a video on somebody else's channel. Brad over there, Full Spectrum Survival. I've been watching him for, well, before I ever started a YouTube channel. Great guy. Him and his wife are great people. They always try to bring news and information to you on a daily basis. Now, yesterday he came out with a video about this leaked phone call. Apparently, what the news media is calling pranksters. Russia managed to get a phone call with the Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, pretending to be Zelensky. I don't know how that's possible, but okay. I'm not a tech guy. During that phone call, he leaked information about the economy, their strategy, and your inflation is going to keep on going up, and it's going to continue to go up. Yeah, awesome. This whole, we got to do a little bit right now just to get the economy squared, but it'll be okay. Now, get ready. We've been talking about this stuff, guys. It's just going to keep raising. They are not dropping prices. You know, they're talking about more people need to be on unemployment. More people need to be working less hours. More people need to be making less on the hour to get inflation under control. That doesn't make any damn sense to me, but hey, what do I know? But anyway, make sure you go over there, Full Spectrum Survival. Check out his channel. Brad over there is a great guy. I've spoken to him many times. He's an amazing guy. Him and his family, great people. Now, one of the things I want to point out for you guys, besides the solar generator kicking on, spaghetti. Alright? Get normal food. That should be your top priority, other than water filtration, water purification system, reverse osmosis, water filters, whatever it is that you are more comfortable with and understand how to operate. Do that first. Next is food. One of the biggest things I see here on YouTube, being a YouTube creator, the comments, I try to read all the comments, guys. I've just been busy. One of the biggest things I see out of people is, I went and bought a whole bunch of food and now it all went bad. You guys are scammers. You guys just cause fear. Well, for one, you're a panic buyer. You're not a prepper. You're a reactionist. You don't belong here. There you go. All right, because you're not listening to what we show. You're not listening to what we're teaching. You're not watching what we're showing. We do normal rotational stock. I have a 2-year supply of normal food, canned goods and dry goods, pastas, rice, beans, you name it, we use it. A normal rotational stock is when I decide I want spaghetti, which I eat spaghetti 2-3 times out of the week, I pull from our stock. We cook that up. The next trip we go to the store, we buy the replacement and put in the back of the stock and slide it forward. Our 2-year supply, if everything was to stop right now, we can't buy any more food. We have 2 years worth of food that is always going to be well within date. All right, best by date is just a manufacturer sale date. Expiration date, depending on how you store your food. If it's climate control, it lasts a very long time. And also depends on what type of food it is. All right. I've already discussed this. I can't tell you can eat a can of beans way after expiration date, because if some idiot wasn't storing it correctly and get botulism, well, then it's my fault. Second there, I thought we had a light go out. So, normal rotational stock. If you're sitting there saying your food expired, you're not a prepper, you're a panic buyer, and you just ran up there and now you're talking crap. You don't belong here. All right, long-term food storage, the 25-year shelf life. Yeah. I'm a big advocate on it, because my normal rotational stocks, in our living scenario, how we're doing everything, I can only do about 2 years successfully, and then I need something major after that. So that's why we look into the For Patriots, Augason Farms, Nutrient Survival, all these companies, we buy those for our long term. Now, during that time, we have seeds. Seeds so you can grow food. But you have to have food to eat while you're growing. Or something major happens, Should be some photos up there for you guys. We had a massive storm come in. I mean, this thing was like a hurricane category winds over here. We had tornado warnings all over the time. I was trying to put the roof on this thing, put the tin on. I found a couple pieces of my tin in trees away from the build site. That's how bad it got out here. Destroyed all of our canopies because I was trying to store a lot of my material out there. I brought a bunch of it in here because they destroyed my canopies. Our trailer we live in, I actually had to evacuate out and go find refuge in my family's home. We're on family property over here. They have a house not far away, and I went there. The whole trailer was rocking. When I came back out, most of my solar panels were ripped loose. All the insulation's been pulled off. I mean, it's a mess. Yeah, we had some rough winds. So if you're trying to grow a garden, if we would have had a garden in the ground, it'd be flat. That's what actually happened 2 years ago. We were doing a garden out here, and all of our corn was just mashed straight down to the ground. Because wind, you know, wind's supposed to blow left and right. No, this stuff came down on us like it did this last time. So you got to have food while you're growing a garden, because anything can happen. So for those that, oh, I just have seeds, best of luck to you. You're going to starve before your first corn comes up. Expect about 4 months before you start really producing good crop. Yeah, so you need to have food put back. My recommendation, personally, I say 2 years supply of normal rotational stocks. But that's just me. If you don't want to do that, at least a year supply. All right? Personally, I think you need to be doing a lot more. That's just rotational stock. You need to be putting food back for the next 3 to 5 years if possible. I know that takes a lot of room. Trust me. Do I have 5 years supply of food? No. We have right at 4 years. That is a 2-year rotational stock, and then we have 2 years, right at 2 years supply of the long-term food storage. For Patriot makes it easy. There's so many different companies out there. Legacy, it should be all popped up there, and I got them in the description for you. But before you buy those, hear me out. Before you buy those, get your normal foods first. But only purchase stuff you eat. All right? Purchase stuff you eat. Don't buy a whole bunch of stuff that you're not going to eat when you need it. I will tell you this much. If you're hungry, you're going to eat it. Next up, America's under attack. Yeah, it is. Not by missiles and stuff like that, but then again, we don't know anything about these train derailments that it just keeps on coming. Many people say is infrastructure sabotage. Quite possibly could be. I don't know. All I know is that it's a supply line that's being knocked. All right, that's all I know on that. But what I do know is that our economy is being attacked, and that's the BRICS. Yeah, the American dollar is being devalued. So what does that mean? All that money that you have in savings is losing its value. Kind of like when they jumped up the prices, well, the wages for everybody up to $15 an hour. Well, for everybody that had money, your value of your dollar saved just went in the shitter. Because when they did that, the price of everything else went up too. So the value that you've been saving lost value. Now with the BRICS, there should be a pop-up there for you guys. Russia, China, all, it's like, what is it, 5 major countries, and then now there's more jumping on this. They're backing up their currency with gold, silver, commodities, precious metals, and commodities, you know, services. China is really making big power plays. They are pushing, and to me, what I'm looking at is they're going to be the next big ultimate superpower. When the American dollar drops, we will not be the superpower of the world. Some people will argue with me on that. Some people say it never was. Some people say we always will be. I try to look at the facts, and this is what I try to prepare for. We're preppers for a reason. We prepare off of facts, and we look at things and go, okay, I see this moving in this direction, so what do I need to do to prepare my family? I try not to live in the fantasy world of, you know, whatever, following some politician. Hate to break it to everybody, but politicians are all in bed with each other. They don't give a crap about you. They get up there, beat their chest, patriotism and all this other stuff. They don't care about you. Case in point, I know everyone's going to be screaming and hollering about Trump this, Trump that. Trump was also the one that signed in the mandatory arm jabs. Fast-tracked. Wanted to get that stuff out there onto the public quick. Yeah. But, you know, patriotism. It was good for the economy. I'll give them that. But all politicians are politicians. They're not there for you. They'll sit there, tell you what you want to hear, and that's that. My opinion, take it or leave it. We usually don't get in politics much around here. One, because I'm not an economic expert, unlike I do have a garbage disposal. What a moron. Alright, so we got some paneling up for the kitchen. We did get our countertop, kitchen shelving. Yeah, it's a mess right now because everything with construction, everything else, yeah, it's a mess. I did get us a shelf that's going to go in above the fan. It's going to run the length up to this part of the counter, because here is where we're going to be stacking our mini fridges. So there will be a shelf up there for odds and ends stuff. Today I am going to insulate the roof and that other wall over there. So swinging over, this is the going into the bathroom over here. We did get the shower installed. All the paneling is up. I still have to run molding and the paneling, so I have to get all that done. I did pick up a sink, but I want to show you guys this. You see that right there? Alright, this thing turned out to be 4 foot long, and I got it for $4 at Habitat for Humanity. Anyway, I had it flipped over. I didn't know it had this lip, and I used my cutoff wheel, my grinder, and I cut it to size. I want a little landing over here and pretty tight over here, but I didn't notice this indentation. But I do have that. So I think what I will do is just seal it up like that. By the time it is liquid nailed and caulked in, we should be good. So that is going to be a little bathroom sink right there. I'm going to have to put a GFI right here, but that's all right because my GFI is over here. Just going to swap them out, because originally the counter sink was going to go over there, but as it turns out, there wasn't much room. I only had like 22 inches in between the wall and the toilet, so that wasn't going to work. Anyway, let's move on. For our door, that's right here, I'm actually going to make a door and built it into that frame. That's what I'm going to wind up doing, because the door and frame is about $500. Freaking ridiculous. Alright, so we got insulation on that wall. That's an interior wall. I haven't insulated that yet. All of that is insulated over there. Wall paneling is up over there. I got to do insulation on the roof. The only wall I need to do insulation on is that wall right there, but I have plenty of insulation rolls. And then I got to insulate the roof. I had to pull all of our electronics down to insulate that wall. So we're gonna do a video on EMP Shield. I got one wired in. I'm gonna do a video on wiring this one in. I've got identical ones of those charge controllers. Are gonna go over here. I'm removing that one, hook up the other two, get all that stuff in. Our other inverter, we got another V4 inverter that's ordered. It will be coming in, it will go there, and then we have the one that we're currently using. It's going to go over there, and then our battery banks are going to go down there on the floor, horseshoed out. The pool is filled. There's a lot of rainwater. And the roof, the shingle, the metal roof is up. Got that on. So I don't have the siding done yet. I don't have the sides on yet. This is actually livable for right now, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to I'm going to get everything insulated up, get all of our plumbing in, because we got to install the kitchen sink, build the bathroom sink, and hook up our tankless water heater, get that piped in and everything for a shower, for a hot water and everything else, and then we're moving in. Yeah, the trailer took a heck of a beating during that windstorm. Let me show you. There we go. All of our insulation's been whacked out. I had to shove most of the panels back on because most of the panels fell off. The wind was just ridiculous. Let me show you what happened to our canopies. Yeah, construction sites. This canopy was destroyed. I believe that was hail. But it did protect the wife's rabbit's gravesite. I did a good job on that, I believe. Okay, moving over. I've got to cut the grass. Again, I've just been busy. And the other canopy wound up over here. And my wife's pans are still attached to it. Yeah. So yeah, we don't have the panels to finish paneling out, and also the paneling for the roof. We've been looking at panels because we really didn't want to use that same wood paneling on the roof. We were looking at the white ones. We're probably going to be using the wood paneling like that, because the white ones are like $50 a piece compared to the wood paneling is 20 bucks. Yeah, so we're going to be going that route. But we're going to insulate all this because we had a good sized rainstorm yesterday. I want to check and make sure we had no leaks during the rainstorm. Worked well. We're going to insulate. With insulation, of course, you have these little flaps on each side. Staple it. I've got my slap hammer here. Use that, staple it. So you staple along the sides. If necessary, I shoot a couple strings across. I got something in my eye. I shoot some string across just to keep the insulation from ever falling down on top of us until we get the paneling up over our heads. But yeah, once it's insulated, once I get the water in, so we got all of our PVC, our PEX ran. I still have to run PEX for a hot water. No problem there. Right now I got all the cold water done. Move the kitchen sink in here, build a bathroom sink, and we should be good to go. It'll be nice. I mean, it's nice to be able to walk around without being all hunched over that little 6x12 cargo trailer. 3 years. It's been rough. Yeah, so. Now, to answer some questions, I had comments. I thought you were going to Wyoming. Yeah, we were. But like I discussed before, during the scandemic, we had to sell off a lot of our property because, hey, we all lost their jobs. Also, I have family that has health issues right here in the state. My wife has family here. My wife needs to go to the hospital too. Yeah, my wife survived cancer twice already. So we're trying to stay as close to society as possible, but also live off grid. I mean, we're out here in the sticks down here in Florida. You know, kind of. We're away from the city anyway. Having medical right now is really priority. If we're up in Wyoming, we're talking 6 months isolation every year when it snows. That wind is getting bad out there again. And then if something happens to her mother or my dad, I got to be able to get there. Can't when you snowed in for 6 months. So we decided we have family here, we have family that needs us here, and the fact is, I don't care what anybody says, we are at World War III. This is happening. This has started, this is going on. I'm not moving around for people's viewing pleasure to go out to Wyoming and everything goes all to hell. Alright, so we're locking down here. I have a group here. I have a lot of family here. So this is going to be a hub. When this stuff goes bad, my family, we're all pulling together. We're close by. Strength in numbers. Alright guys, appreciate you hanging out with me. Speak to y'all later.